All right, everybody. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. We're on my new phone again. I don't have a mic for this. This is just straight audio off the phone. We are in a bit of a time crunch now. It is now December 14th, and the only thing I've done so far is basically been able to get the epoxy filling done on all these legs. That'll make more sense in some future videos because I've been working on site prep for a sawmill building, and I haven't been filming that, but eventually y'all will see some videos on that. So hopefully before too long, that'll be getting poured. If today is Thursday, it'll be getting poured tomorrow or Monday of next week, if the rain holds out this weekend, and if it dries out enough today for tomorrow. So once that's done, hopefully I'll be able to get a video on that. But I need to resharpen my card scraper. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get the epoxy work cleaned up on this, jump over to the planer, get some stuff flattened out, and yeah, let's go from there. Put it in overdrive.
Alright, so right now you see me just cutting down some stuff with a jigsaw, getting stuff rough cut. I like using a jigsaw instead of a circular saw because it really does help mitigate the chance of it pinching on the blade, and rough cut, it doesn't need to be pretty. Now we're over here at the joiner. I'm using a combination of a push block and a push pad. Um, You'll see that I actually did forget to switch my dust collector over to the joiner. It was hooked up to the table saw still. So, minor setback, but yeah, just making quick work of it. Now that I've got a good face jointed on these narrow boards, going through planing them down, and these are going to finish at right about 3/4, and then I'm going to take those wide boards and plane them down to about 1 inch, and that'll be for the tabletop, the others for the sides. We're back over here at the joiner. Um, these boards were too wide to go over at first. This is an 8-inch wide joiner, but these boards were a little over 10 inches wide, and they were pretty flat, at least on one face, so I decided to get them planed down and then joint the edge.
All right, in the last few clips y'all saw, we started off down here, got the table legs cleaned up again. I did a little bit more epoxy filling between the last video and this one. We got them all cleaned up. We came back, got all this stuff rough cut, a little bit oversized today. We went through, started off with the joiner and the planer, got everything flattened, squared up, and planed down to thickness. The sides of the nightstand and stuff finished at about 3/4, and the tabletop finished at about 1 inch thick. And one thing you may have noticed in the clip when I was joining the stuff for the top, I actually folded these two together like this, and then pushed both of them against the joiner fence. And in doing that, you actually have, well, let me back up a second here. In doing that, if your joiner fence is not perfectly 90 degrees, whether it's out like this or in like this, the counteracting angles, when you unfold them, they'll counteract each other and they'll meet perfectly. And that way you have a tighter glue seam. It's a little bit of a trick that I found out just doing stuff and scrolling through YouTube, and it actually works quite well. So hopefully I can pass that on to one of y'all and y'all can use it. So today it's a little bit too cold. It's about 48 degrees. We're going to wait till tomorrow when it's about 60, get these gluing up, Thought it was going to be a little bit warmer today, but kind of missed that mark. So we're going to go ahead and get these trimmed up a little bit closer to final size. Same thing with these, and then get ready to do some joinery. So catch y'all in a bit.
Now I'm going through marking a few of the top boards and getting the fence set. These thinner 3/4 boards are going to be ripped down to 6 inches, and that'll be their final width. And then the wider boards I'm going to rip down a little oversized to about 9 1/4. Alright, you're going to see that I start cutting stuff on the miter saw, but it didn't really go like I wanted it to, so we're going to switch it up here in a second and go to the table saw. The miter saw wasn't leaving perfectly square edges or whatever when I was cutting, so I decided to break out the table saw sled and cut everything to final length on this, and this turned out a lot better.
Alright, we've been through all of our other stuff, got everything cut down to size. I have these 3 pieces laid out here as the back and then the sides of it. This piece here is actually 3 pieces. It's going to be the drawer face and the 2 stiles for the front of the little nightstand. And we're basically going to have our legs like this, just as a rough idea so y'all can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out which way I want everything to go. We're going to drill some pocket holes. I know that's probably going to make some of y'all's heads spin, but whatever, it'll be fine. So let's get to it.
Now that I've got all my sides laid out, marked out, I'm going through labeling everything with painter's tape and a Sharpie. And I went through, marked out all the hole locations for the pocket holes. I'm going to go through and drill those now and get ready for joinery tomorrow. Or, I should say, assembly.
Alright guys, we've gone through, we've got everything labeled here. We've got A and B, and we've got all our pocket holes drilled for both of them. There's none drilled in this because this right here is going to be this assembly here. It'll make sense in a second. So what I'm going to do is cut a 1-inch strip off of this side and a 1-inch strip off of that side. And then we'll pocket hole that 1-inch wide piece on here like this. And this is just a proof of concept for now. So then the leftover piece in the middle will be the drawer face that will go in here. And just to prove it, I mean, this is pretty daggone strong for what it is. And once it's locked in with the rest of it, it'll actually be pretty substantial. And you'll see, maybe, if I can get it pointed at the camera right, we have a 1/4 inch inset here, and I'll do that the whole way around. And then once we have the frame put together roughly, we're going to go in here and add in some interior stuff for the drawer hardware. It's not going to be drawer slides. I'm going to do just a straight friction drawer box, wood on wood. So I think this is a good point to stop for today and for this video. The next one will be cutting the legs to length, getting them sorted out, getting these cut down for the front and the face of the drawer, and then also we will probably go ahead, do our sanding, assemble the base itself, glue up our top, and then a little bit more planing for the drawer box itself. And also there's supposed to be a low shelf on this, but I wanted to have it assembled before I figured out where I wanted the shelf and how big I wanted it. So, yeah, I think this is a great spot to end it. So, as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if y'all don't mind, go ahead and leave me a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all guys next time.